Yeah. Nope. Yeah.
Holla back. Gonna talk to you about nope, yep. What does that mean? So, I'm in spin class this past week on a Wednesday, and I'm doing my thing, and I am exhausted. Like, literally want to die. I haven't done spin in forever, and I'm pedaling along. I start slowing down, and at that point, the instructor, she just starts yelling. I don't know if she's yelling at me, but this is what she says. She goes, everything is up to you what you do in this class. It's up to you. We all have the same bike. We all have the same 1 hour. It's up to you what you make of it. I was like, is she talking to me? Because I swear she was talking to me. I literally wanted to like take the bike like off the rack and just like ride out of class, which is hard when it has no wheels. It has no wheels. So I got my butt back on that bike and I moved and I finished that class strong. But this right here is life. So they say life is between B and D. And between B and D is C. And C represents choices. B and D represents birth and death. So between birth and death is C. C is all the choices that we make. Every choice, our life right now, is a reflection of every choice we have made up until today. And we all have the ability to make a choice, and we have the same 24 hours in a day. So everything is what you make of it. You cannot wait for life to happen. You know, you have to make it happen. Otherwise, you'll be waiting forever like me on that bike at spin, just spinning around, going nowhere because there's no wheels. So once you understand that life is what you make of it, and it's all based on choices, there's something that really opened my eyes when I really consciously understood this. So, you know, we have the tendency to blame outside factors on why we aren't where we are, whether it's the economy, the president, the circumstances, you know, your birth order, your DNA, you know, your past, how you're supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. You know, you cannot blame the gym for not losing weight. You can't. You cannot. The gym works for everybody. You need to work it. It doesn't work. It's not, oh, it worked for you and not for me. No, you didn't work. Like, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of life, too. Everything in life is a choice. And that right there is the greatest truth. And in my eyes, also the hardest lesson. And it's great because it reminds us of the power we have and the ability to live the life we want. On the flip side, it's really hard because if you're not happy with where you're at, then it's really hard to look in the mirror and take ownership for all your choices. But the fact remains, it's still on you. So while it can be hard to own up to our decisions, it's also liberating because that means you can change your life based on your choices at any moment. And you can move forward today if you want. So I understand also that life can throw curveballs and circumstances, you know, there are certain circumstances that we don't choose because life does happen, but then it's how you react. That's kind of what determines everything. So I have a dear friend, and within the span of 6 months, she lost her grandfather, mother, and father within 6 months of her life. And she has 4 kids, 3 and under at the time. So this is a girl who, yeah, she didn't choose those circumstances. However, she is the happiest person I know because she has chosen to be that way. That doesn't mean she doesn't grieve and she's still not sad, but she has chosen to choose. She's chosen happiness, and I admire her for that. So, you know, it's easy to feel like we don't have a choice. It is like, you know, well, I have to go to work and I got to pay the bills. You don't have to go. You can tell your boss no. You might not like the outcome of that, but it's still a choice. You literally get to choose what you want to do. So, I mean, look at Rosa Parks. It didn't seem like she had a choice, but holy crap, did she make one of the best decisions of all time? And that was her choice. So you've heard that 10% of life is what happens and 90% is how you react. And when you kind of look at life this way, you have no option but to fully take responsibility for all your actions. And when you consciously understand this, you become more aware and present, and it's very eye-opening. And it's the first step to really getting what you want. So most people, they're afraid to take responsibility for their choices. And what happens is you go on and you just live a life that you don't want. and you just wish things would change. And it just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So if you wake up in the middle of the night because of you're sweating about your job, or you can't advance, or you're dying to take a vacation, or you daydream about someone else's life, or you dread Mondays, it's a sign you need to make a change. And it's probably not that you dread Mondays. You probably just don't love your lifestyle. Monday's Monday. So your body is the best teacher. Pay attention to it and pay attention to how you feel with those circumstances, and that'll be a great teacher and guidance of where you should go next. So don't worry about making the perfect choice. You never know for sure if it's the right choice, but you're always going to learn a lesson, and it's the right choice, especially if you move closer to being happiness and choosing happiness, because happiness is a choice. So I'll leave you with this. Steve Jobs, for 33 years, he looked at himself in the mirror every morning and asked himself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And if his answer was no for too many days in a row, guess what? He made the choice to change it. You are as happy as you choose to be, and we make choices, but then eventually our choices make us. Everybody got choices. Boo!